Good day, dear readers, viewers, watchers, and listeners. I pray all is well out there. We will continue with the book entitled You did check and make sure it was moving, right?
Yes.
The timer, the microwave. The Sacraments of Eternity. Let us continue. Let us resume play. Let us begin. We are still in the chapter entitled Revelation of the Holy Revelation of the Holy Virgin Mary. As I told you a few episodes ago, this particular episode is lengthy. So again, we will be in it for a while, and periodically I will remind you, just in case you have forgotten. So with that said, again, we continue. Jesus and his disciples left. I decided to stay outside for a while. Mom, come in. Son, I need to stay alone for some time. Are you okay? No, Jesus. You know what this place means to me. Okay, Mom. We're waiting for you inside. I was sitting and watching the water coming off the spring as if I saw my life running like water. It was coming from the kingdom of heaven and spreading around the earth, giving water to life. I saw an angel, this time without my grandmother. Miriam, your path will lead you to Jerusalem. This is the beginning of the most responsible part of your mission. In other words, you are close to the beginning. First I thought, this is death. I won't see my son anymore. The angel felt it and said, Miriam, this is not death. This is just a beginning. Jesus knows that. You know it too. You are trying to freeze time in your thoughts. But, Miriam, it is impossible to either escape nor to avoid. I became anxious. Calm down, Miriam. The whole humankind is behind you, with no exception. Yes, I understand you, but it's so hard to lose what is so precious, so awful. Miriam, everything lost here, you will find in God's bliss. Remember that. Everything lost here, you will find again in God's bliss. Look at me. I lived on earth as a human in the time of Moses, and I passed to the kingdom of heaven. So now, as you see me, I am here, standing in front of you. Do I look dead? No, which means I am alive. I have a different appearance. Miriam, you happen to see your grandma, so you know the bliss of outer life. Think about it. I repeat one more time. You won't lose Jesus. You'll see him safe and sound. Meanwhile, Jesus was talking to his disciples. Judas entered the house. Teacher, I apologize. My affairs, my private affairs, took all of my time. Judas, what happened? Are you hiding something from us? No, Jesus. How can I hide anything from my brothers? Barbius saw you, and you behaved suspiciously. No, teacher. His eyes must be playing tricks on him. Judas, tell me, have you seen David? Judas was flushed. Where could I see him? He must be at his own home. Whereas all this time I was in Nazareth, dealing with my own affairs and business. Let it be so, Judas. Time will show us. Have you met people? Talked to them? Teacher, I'm telling you, I was busy. I did not have time for people. Yes, I see that you have new clothes. Do you have money? No, my friend from Cariot gave it to me. Why was he so generous to you? He owed me money, and thus he paid me back. Judas, you are changing so quickly. I can't understand in what way, though. Jesus, I am innocent to you. Wait and see, Judas. We'll see. However, I see a lot more than each of you. Today have rest. Tomorrow we'll start working. Now, let's have some free time. Jesus called Andrew. Andrew, please follow Judas. Find out where he is going and who are those he meets. Please be invisible. I will, teacher. At that point, everybody wandered off. Disciples were busy with their own business, and Andrew began looking after Judas. Judas was going very fast. Andrew barely could follow him. Judas came up to one of the houses and knocked. The door was open, and he entered. Andrew didn't know what to do. He asked people that were passing by, "Who lives in this house?" One woman answered, "Not long ago, a man from Jerusalem settled down in this house. He seems to be connected with the priesthood and Syndrion. He has many priests, visitors from Jerusalem." Andrew took a deep thought. When Judas entered the house, a man with a big scar on his face met him. "Anything new for Safiyet?" "You scare me," said Judas. "Leave me alone. My teacher suspects something. I don't want to have any more business with you." "No, my disgusting friend, you belong to us. Otherwise, give all the money back." Scarman laughed loudly. Tell me what Jesus is up to. He wants to go to Jerusalem, and on his way, he wants to enter every settlement. He says, all people should accept God, will accept this God. You, Judas, are disgusting, the ugliest scumbag. You should not live on earth. However, Safiyet needs you. You'll help us to annihilate a false king. You are guilty. Drink. Here is one more silver coin for your betrayal. You know, pig, I would never do so. Are you a loser? You would agree to everything, on everything? I repeat, you belong to us. However, I am personally on the side of your teacher. I can always turn his side. But you will pay back by your soul. I'll never leave you. When have I? I'll never leave you. When I have money, I will return it to you. Oh, no, dear. It is too late. Tell me, Judas, the devil's son, can you imagine your body hanging on the tree? No, you can't, as you are a coward. You are in a dilemma. You have two minds, and your soul is already dead. Andrew was waiting at the house for Judas to go out. And sometime Judas went out with his neck adroop and went to the wine cellar. When he went out there, he didn't look like a human anymore. He was reeled to and fro as a complete drunken. No one knew what he was thinking about at that time. Andrew came back home. Andrew came back home. Judas keeps something back from us. I don't know what exactly. I can't understand what he can have in common with priest. Andrew, please, keep an eye wide open for him. Sure, teacher. Let me visit the house where Judas was. Yes, Andrew, you are right. If the one inside of this house would agree to talk to you, find out everything. It may help us. They are up to something, and there is Judas between us. I only ask you, Andrew, please be careful and keep it all in secret. Thus, a chain of events was launched. The time started to unfold the story of Jesus, the deeds of God human, the Son of God. A caravan was moving from Jerusalem to Caesarea, from Caesarea to Jerusalem, delivering the unusual cargo. Tribute gathered in favor of priesthood, gold and silver. Barbius prepared to attack the prey, and on the chosen day, the caravan was robbed with the blood spilled. During the bandits' operation, one of the priests screamed, "What are you doing? Evil! All of this belongs to the church. You can't touch it, otherwise you'll be punished." Barbius came up to the priest and said, "You stole this, not me. If I touch it, nothing will happen to me, as God knows who is who. I do not know who your God is, but you'll be punished." "Sure I will, but not in front of you, earthly idols. I'll be judged by the real God." The priest was crying out loud. I know, Barbius. You believe in the lunatic naming himself God. But it is all done for him. We'll return him to his father." "Look at you. You decided? First, go yourself to the father of God's son and explain to him how you came to him and why." Barbius took his knife. Barbius took his knife. If God really there in heaven, he'll forgive me, thought Barbius. With the stolen treasure and his gang, Barbius moved to Jerusalem to share all the loot with those in need. He was contemplating, "I will wait for Jesus in Jerusalem. I must find out what these bastards are going to undertake." Barbius was going through An Enon. Upon arrival to An Enon, he set his camp at the bank of the Jordan River, next to the camp of John and David. There were crowds of people, and it was hard to find Barbius and his gang. Barbius met John. "I saw your teacher not too long ago. I talked to him. He was worried a lot about the boy. But I saw you before and told the teacher that the boy is fine. Jesus will come soon. He said he was going to Jerusalem, but first he will enter every settlement along his way as people are waiting for him." "Tell me, John, were you sent by his father to earth?" "No, Barbius. Jesus was sent by his father, and I saw God's angel. He told me to follow God's will." "No, Barbius, not like Jesus." "So strange. I was not sent, and no one visited me, and somehow I am here around you as a tornado sent by reputation among people." "What people?" "Among full-bellied and hoggish scumbags. Poor and hungry won't tell bad about me, as I will help them. My approach is not as honorable as yours, but still, making mischief, I do good." "Well, Barbius, this is your life." Barbius stayed long near John. He liked this place and liked to be in John's company. He repeated all the time, "Everything is beautiful. Everything I see around belongs to me. I like to be here now, and I will stay here as long as you want." Barbius stayed as long, and he said back to him, "John, Barbius, stay as long as you want. No one pitches you out." Barbius applied to David. "David, I want you to read me your book. I want to hear what is written in there." David took the book and started reading. "Every human has a beautiful soul, which is God's strength, and everything created by God is beautiful. God's truth is in this book. This truth is the guide for all blessed and honorable. A human soul keeps everything the most beautiful, divine, and tender. It is shining as the sun and warm as a summer rain. In this stream of gentle communication, you may see God's face and hear God's voice, which you will never forget. A soul is a spiritual traveler which overcomes all challenges of its body. It is suffering and rejoicing along with the body. It may feel joy or cry, endures all earthly burdens, and after releasing the body, it finds the true calmness in the kingdom of heaven. Every human living on earth should remember that he or she is a child of heaven, and so he or she has the Father. Every child should listen to the Father inside his or her heart. The greatest and wisest, tender and fair Father will always come to help his child, because the child, once created, shall be raised and saved gracefully. God's grace is meant in life given to you by your Creator. Praising God's truth, people believe stronger, and being strong in their faith, they become invincible by any evil. God is on heaven, people are on earth. A soul is in between as a bright star uniting everything by its light. Barbius was listening, but it was evident that he understood only part of the information. He kept listening anyway. Tell me, David, is there anything about me in this book? It is written about everyone, which means it's about you as well. Yeah, these words were composed not by an ordinary man, not one of my people, for sure. Well, David, thank you, and keep this book carefully. I see you will grow to be a good person. You happen to be in good company. Follow the path shown to you by your teacher. Barbius, did you kill many people? Yes, David, but those were not people. I am a beast, but those were much worse. They killed more than I did. Their hands were coated with blood much more than mine. Yes, Barbius, I saw what they did with my mom. I will never forget. David, you are young. Do not think of revenge. Time will show you what to do. Be close to your teacher. Jesus gathered all of his disciples. Brothers, we have to follow to Gadari, or Gadari, Quasis. This city will be the place for our new spiritual campaign. Disciples agreed. Me too? Jesus told me, Mom, we are going to face our destiny. I do not know what will happen in Gadara, but we have to go there. Jesus, I am with you. Let's go to Gadara. We have packed quickly. Only John and David were off. Gadara was placed on the top of one of the hills. It was big. River Giromasakasa was flowing at the foot of the hill. It was a special place on both banks of the river. There were mineral springs called Amatha. There were always a lot of people taking water from the springs, cooling it down and healing their diseases. We entered the settlement. There were several temples and 3 theaters. The country of Gergenesia was quite friendly to us. People knew that spiritual campaign is in progress on earth, and God's Son, Jesus, led it. Walking along the streets of Gadara, we saw that people are watching us. We were dressed differently than the locals. We stopped at one of the temples. There were many people. One of them came up to us and appealed to me. I was in Caesarea and saw all of you there. At that time, I didn't attach importance to the fact that you are the messengers of God. But people talk. If I am not mistaken, you are God's son, mother. Yes, I am his mother. Show me where he is. This young man with 2 birthmarks on his face. The man came to Jesus. Tell me, God's son named Jesus? People call you teacher? Yes, brother, this is me and my spiritual brothers, my disciples. Have you come for long? It depends on the people. Depends on how people understand and accept us. The day is almost over. My name is Sheepo. If you want, I can offer you my home where you can meet people. Of course, if they come to you and believe you. Sheepo appealed to people who were at the temple. Look here, everybody, turn to our side. Next to me, standing, God's Son, Jesus, with his disciples. Many of you heard about him. So he is here in Gadara. If you want to talk to him, you may find God's Son at my place. Please come tomorrow, as today he needs rest. People were silently looking at us. Not for long, though. The brave ones started to show interest what we can do because they heard that we might perform wonders. Disciples of Jesus explained what they could do. Many were listening with irony. Some seemed to be serious. I was recollecting, will it be the same as we endured in Capernaum? When we were following Sheepo to his place, Jesus said, people do not know what we can do. That is why they doubt. We look strange to them. However, the dawn will show either our strength or our weakness. And there, dear viewers, readers, watchers, and listeners, we will pause there, and we will resume play yet another day. In the book entitled The Sacraments of Eternity. Until next time, dear readers, be well, take care, God bless, and thank you.